Well, Doctor, please assist me in figuring out what these damn Nazis are up to.
Carolina's alive! Somehow. She doesn't look like she's doing so well, but she's alive. She somehow survived from the last game.
Find Klaus on the second floor. He should have the folder for Project Whisper.
Photo for Project Whisper, huh?
Well-maintained workbench. Don't think Guitar Boy would mind if I borrow it.
Yeah? What can I do with it? Sweet. Armor upgrade. Now, it would seem to me that this would be the kind of place that would have a record. Since this guy is into music, but I don't know. Pictures certainly look a lot nicer in this game. No idea. Wow, there's a lot of articles here.
Right. I don't know you, and I'm not looking to make friends.
Of course not. Moscow in flames. Stockholm, March 16th, 1945. The Red Army were forced to retreat last night from a Moscow engulfed by flames, following a week-long German bomb raid. The barrage of mortar fire heard throughout the night and well into early Thursday morning seems to have obliterated what was left of the inner parts of the city. As of yet, there has been no word on the whereabouts of either Joseph Stalin or his high command. Finally, the British tyranny comes to an end. Yeah, sure. London, June 21st, 1948. As if blessed by the sun, the German flag hung high this morning over Buckingham Palace to mark the end of a tyrannical monarchy which has plagued the English people for centuries. Field Marshal Juruf Feigenbaum, I don't know, who led the British invasion, cautioned that the army resistance is to be expected, but the majority of the British people will soon realize how they have been fooled by the British government's warmongering leaders. Following the surrender, the whole of the Commonwealth now falls under German rule, and the remaining armies have been ordered to stand down. I mean, Britain has done some crappy things, so has America and stuff, but tyrannical order? I don't know. I guess you could say that in some cases, but seriously. Anyway, extra prisoners escape Eisenwald. Berlin, October 13th, 1960. Early morning, a small group of prisoners escaped from Eisenwald prison. That must be us. The prisoners were described by the police as highly dangerous murderers, rapists, and degenerates. Yeah, sure. They advise the public to stay alert for people displaying deviant behavior and report anything that may help them track down these individuals. I suppose we could technically be considered murderers because we have been killing a lot of people. Victory in Asia. Berlin, July 8th, 1948. Early Monday morning, a special assault team launched an attack on the last stronghold of the People's Liberation Army. Within hours, the Republic of China surrendered unconditionally. Experts commented that the Japanese government now have no choice but to give up their territorial claims in Asia. The sources close to Field Marshal claim that a plan is being drawn up for both China and Japan, which will transition the two countries into servant states with separate governments and military. These states will, of course, be supremely governed by the superior German Empire. And I figure that's probably what would happen if if Japan and Germany had remained allies and won the war. Regime crosses the Atlantic. Vancouver, January 3rd, 1947. Earlier this week, a German submarine was sunk in the Cobalt Strait, just a few miles off the coast of Cape North. Today, hundreds of ships crossed the Atlantic, and the first German troops set foot upon Canadian soil. Now is the time to be brave, said the Prime Minister in an emergency radio broadcast. It's now or never. Our boys at the front line need your support to defend our homeland, to defend our freedom. Royal Air Force down but not out. Liverpool, June 25th, 1945. The Royal Air Force suffered a major defeat yesterday at the battle over Liverpool. Though major losses were reported on both sides, the RAF were forced to retreat after losing more than two-thirds of their fighters. But even when faced with overwhelming odds, our brave boys in the skies continue to fight for king and country. This fighting spirit may be what constitutes the very essence of Englishness. Us Englishmen, we fight until the very end, said a corner shop owner trying to put out a fire raging inside St. Luke's Church. And I'll be damned if I will let some Jerry come here and tell us what to do. Was this man channeling the spirit of the RAF pilot Jameson? Jameson, who was shot down above Liverpool yesterday, burst out of his burning wreckage, his body on fire and armed with only a pistol, and killed 4 German paratroopers before finally succumbing himself. Even as the enemy stands at our doorstep, the RAF will go to hell and back to kick them out of England. Jolly good, boys. The Red Surrender, Moscow, December 12th, 1946. The cold Russian winter bites hard, but one could not tell looking at the rosy, smiling faces of the victorious German army and the liberated Russian people. The last battle against the Red Army took place at Izhevsk? I don't know. Following their month-long campaign to seize the Russian capital. A campaign which, after numerous setbacks and hundreds of civilian casualties, caused the Russian people to turn against their own army. With nightly bomb raids by the German Air Force on the Red Army's military factories in the Ural region, it was merely a matter of time before the Russian forces would start to lose their morale. The murderous tyrant Joseph Stalin is yet to be found, but there are rumors circulating that he may have been assassinated by his own men. Interesting. Wow, there's just articles freaking everywhere, isn't there? Triumph in the East, Berlin, April 4th, 1947. It was a devastating defeat for the Red Army when the German flag was raised on the western side of the River Volga this morning. In a statement to our reporter on site, Field Marshal Friedrich Ritter said that the victory is not only thanks to our hard-working and dedicated troops, but also the result of a new weapon that was deployed for the first time in battle. The Panzerhund is a mechanical, autonomous beast of war that cannot feel fear and cannot feel remorse. It is the purest form of killing machine, and it will tear the Russians apart limb by limb. I don't know, I think the alien still takes the purest form of killing machine at this point. Yeah, it looks like we've got this head up there, and that is the woman on the train who threatened to kill us. Last light in England, Paris, September 17th, 1951. The stalwart resistance of the brave people of London has been quelled. claim sources inside London. After the August uprising, which had seemed like a turning point for the resistance fighters, the German tyrants unleashed their latest machine of oppression, a monstrous thing called the London Monitor. Eyewitness reports describe the fight as a massacre, with the cobblestone streets drenched in the blood of the brave resistance fighters, crushed or gunned down by the giant machine. German elite combat units then proceeded to move from block to block, systematically taking out the last remnants of freedom fighters. So, much as it has always been, it seems that
I'm busy. Fuck off.
history is written by the victors. And the German history does not seem very kind to all of the other nations. There's a lot of guns on this door. They sure have a way of defending this door. I'm quite sure that United States and British history are also not very nice to the Germans in various ways. There's probably lots and lots of false history everywhere. But what do I know? I wasn't there when it happened, so I can't say what's what. And I can't use my knife at all in here, apparently. Really feel like the record would be somewhere around here. Well, if it is, then I probably will not find it. If I talk to you, does this initiate something else? No, it's just saying find Project Whisper. Okay. Well, looks like the only way to go is up here.
Die ganze Zeit nach dem Hammer. Hast du ihn gesehen?
McJaws.
Apparently we have Hodor or Groot over here, depending on which one you want to go with. Poor guy.
You know about before going off on you like that. It's a force of habit.
No worries, Johnny Cowboy. It's not the first time it happens.
Yeah, perhaps you should consider removing them tattoos.
I will, in time. I was, as you Americans say, all wet when I got them. And I'm sorry to say it was a very proud moment of my life. I want removing them to be an even prouder moment. No more Nazis, no more tattoos.
So long as you don't get in the way of me killing Nazis, we'll see eye to eye. Caroline's looking for a document folder, Project Whisper.
Max doesn't speak English very well, but he does know Project Whisper. It's a risky business operation. He knows it will cost us to pull it out. Max doesn't like violence. He doesn't want to see anyone get hurt. Alles in Ordnung, mein Sohn. Wir werden für dich kämpfen.
Caroline said you borrowed the folder. Do you have it here?
I did take it 2 days ago, but I put it back. Go to the ground floor. The folder should be in the drawer in a desk in her room, where I left it. Make a looky-loo in Caroline's room. The folder should be inside her desk.
Alright, so apparently he's sending me back downstairs.
Must be Max's room.
I would like to look around a bit before we do. Hello.
What is Max hiding in there? Is that the Project Whisper folder? Either need a crowbar or find a way around.
Record? Are you in here somewhere? Rather than the Music Man's place? Hey! So, apparently this is just a random Random band. Okay. Alright. Well, I don't think that will get any sort of copyright thing because I'm pretty sure that that is just a German version of another song. Wow, there is a lot of articles in here, aren't there? Yeesh. Got a drill. Can I use that? Found this chisel or whatever that is as well. I feel like we could use a lot of these things as prying tools. Or we could just use a crowbar. That works too. Crowbar it is.
Oh, it's so good to be home, Captain. You know, I think I might need to catch some Z's. Yep. I'll see you when I wake up, okay?
There is something flickering back here, but
Nazis out there we gotta deal with.
I don't think I can do anything with it. Alright, well, let's start reading this stuff. Mold infestation in Berlin. London, May 15th, 1953. It's fair to say there's some sort of poetic justice in this. Reports from our resistance friends in Berlin suggest that a new type of mold spore has started infesting structures made out of the superconcrete used by the regime. It has started festering in the massive underground ventilation system and is spreading throughout the city. Friends of the resistance, this could be a major advantage for us. The mold seems to corrode the stability of the concrete, making it easier to destroy structures that are important to the regime in Berlin. Editorial. Is the terror threat over? Berlin, October 13th, 1960. A strange feeling of serenity comes over me as I walk my morning promenade along Unter die Linden. At first, I struggle to understand what this feeling comes from and why I haven't felt it for so long. And then it hits me. For the last 6 months, there has been no terrorist activity, no ruthless killing sprees against innocent civilians, no car bombs in peaceful neighborhoods, no suicide attacks on public transports. Has the secret police once and for all won the war against terrorism? It's interesting. Whenever some power is ruling over, whether it be tyrannical or not, they call anyone that attacks that power a terrorist, but they are justice. It's a very interesting way of looking at things, that a commander can be considered a hero, whereas someone who fights against the commander or cities would be considered a terrorist. You know, whatever. Anyways, benevolent liberators guard China's borders. Shanghai, October 25th, 1953. Thanks to the ingenuity of German engineers, the Great Wall of China has been reinforced and upgraded by our benevolent German liberators. Hundreds of powerful automatic flak cannons have been installed along the wall, guarding the airspace from any potential invaders from the Mongolian territories. Elite German troops have also been stationed from one end to the other to guard the border. This is a great act of generosity bestowed by our benevolent liberators, symbolically marking the beginning of a new era of peace in Asia. Now I'm hungry for Mongolian.